It is Monday, February 24th of the year of the Lord 2025. Today my parents could celebrate 80 years of marriage. They were married by the Catholic Church on February 24th, 1943. 82 years ago. Time goes so fast. The Gospel today is taken from St. Mark chapter 9, verse 14 to 29. As Jesus came down from the mountain with Peter, James, and John and approached the other disciples, they saw a large crowd around them and scribes arguing with them. Immediately on seeing him, the whole crowd was utterly amazed. They ran up to him and greeted him. He asked them, "What are you arguing about with them?" Someone from the crowd answered him, "Teacher, I have brought to you my son, possessed by a mute spirit. Wherever it seizes him, it throws him down, he foams at the mouth, grinds his teeth, and becomes rigid. I asked your disciples to drive it out, but they were unable to do so." He said to them in reply, "O faithless generation, how long will I be with you? How long will I endure you? Bring him to me." They brought the boy to him, and when he saw him, the spirit immediately threw the boy into convulsions. As he fell to the ground, he began to roll around and foam at the mouth. Then he questioned his father, "How long has this been happening to him?" He replied, "Since childhood. He has often thrown him into fire and into water to kill him. But if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us." Jesus said to him, "If you can, everything is possible to one who has faith." Then the boy's father cried out, "I do believe. Help my unbelief." Jesus, on seeing a crowd rapidly gathering, rebuked the unclean spirit and said to it, "Mute and deaf spirit, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again." Shouting and throwing the boy into convulsions, it came out. He became like a corpse, which caused many to say, "He is dead." But Jesus took him by the hand, raised him, and he stood up. When he entered the house, his disciples asked him in private, "Why could we not drive the spirit out?" He said to them, This kind can only come out through prayer." The Gospel of the Lord. This is a very interesting passage. You can compare it also the same situation in the Gospel of Mark chapter 5, how this man was already also possessed by a demon. But before this passage in the chapter 9 is the passage of the Transfiguration. Jesus went up to Mount Tabor and he was transfigured before Peter, James, and John. Now Jesus comes down, his face was shining. Now this moment, Jesus has to face this person who has a mute spirit. But before, there is the arguing between the disciples of Jesus and the scribes. And the scribes who did not believe in Jesus. They were not open to the newness of Jesus Christ. So the situation of the boy is terrible. The father gets to know, and the disciples were unable. They were faithless. Their faith was very little. And it's strange because when Jesus called the 12 disciples, he called them to be with him, to be sent out to preach, and to expel demons. So they could expel this demon, and they cannot. It was a very tough demon. Huh? He did a very bad thing. The poor boy was in a terrible situation. This is why the father didn't have any other alternative. So this is why the father says, "If you can, if you can," no, at the end, no, at the end, no, if you can do anything. And Jesus said, "You have faith." At the end, then man knows that he lacks faith. This is why help my unbelief. Maybe we are like this man. Sometimes we don't have faith. We need to ask Jesus, help my unbelief, help. Jesus has the power to overcome the evil one. In fact, the first miracle in the Gospel of Mark, in chapter 1, is Jesus expelling a demon there in the synagogue of Capernaum. The demons cannot do anything against Jesus. And then it's interesting, this boy is mute, cannot speak the good words of Jesus. And then he's like at that certain point. And Jesus raised him up, kind of a resurrection. From being possessed like death, now he is risen to new life. So then the final thing, what the disciple asked Jesus, why could not? And Jesus said, because these demons can be expelled only through prayer. We need to pray. And pray is very important dialogue between us and God. When we enter into God, we get to know somehow what is God's will for us. So let us pray a lot so that we can expel demons from our society, from our families, from ourselves. Share this video with all your acquaintances from the St. Leo the Great Parish in Houston and St. Luke in Irving, Texas. May God bless you.